Hello, I'm here to do an announcement. This will be my first video announcing this event that I'm taking part in, and it's kind of overdue because I think I'm the last one, the last participant, or um, I guess I'm a co-host. I guess you could call me that, but I'm definitely participating in June on the Range. It is a Western themed event from Michael K. Vaughn. So if you haven't seen his video, it'll be listed below, and the rest of the hosts will be listed below as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Westerns are one of my favorite types of literature. Love a good Western, whether it be Louis L'Amour, Max Brand, Zane Grey, Luke Short. I've read tons of Western authors, but I haven't. The only ones I've really delved deeply into are Louis L'Amour and Max Brand. The others I've read, kind of peripherally. There are quite a few of their books that I've read, but not to have a great education as to what kind of writer they are or anything. I just know I do like a good Western, and all the authors I just mentioned are really good. I've read J.T. Edson as well, and then some one-off Westerns. I used to go to my grandpa's house in Sikeston, Missouri. I would meet him in Sikeston, and I would always take my grandpa some Westerns. We would stop by the used bookstore there, and they'd have Westerns for like 29 cents. I mean, if they were a 50-cent price when the book was released, it was 29 cents on the shelf, and it's still that way. This little store called the Book Bug in Sikeston, Missouri. Very, very huge. Well, not a huge bookstore, but they had a huge selection. Right now, you can walk in there and books are piled everywhere. But it is a really cool bookstore. But the first thing I'm going to be reading, I'm not going to show everything I'm going to read because a lot of the stuff I'm just going to pull out of a box or off my shelf. I have most of Louis L'Amour's books. I have probably 150, 160 Louis L'Amour books, something like that. So I have most of his catalog. I have quite a few Max Brand books. I'm going to be reading some more Luke Short that I have on my tablet. And what the first thing I'm going to be reading is huge. This is like one of the biggest Westerns ever written, if not the biggest Western ever written. And I'm reading this with Scott Danielson and Summer from Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats. And so I'm pretty excited to read this. It's Lonesome Dove, Larry McMurtry. Love the movie, have never read the book. Sorry about the little sticker there, but I got this at Ollie's and I could not get the sticker off. So, oh well. I paid, I think, $2.99 for it, something like that. Ollie's is a great place for pretty well a brand new book. But yeah, got this for little or nothing. But I like the cover. Although I like some of the other covers better, this looks fine, and I'm going to be reading this. And pretty excited about reading it actually. So, Lonesome Dove, first read through, and I couldn't be more excited about it because I'm finally going to get it off of my list of shame of big books that I want to read. The next one I have read, but I was a teenager and I don't remember that much about it, and that's Riders of the Purple Sage by Zane Grey. My father-in-law bought me this, bought me 3 of these actually for my birthday, I believe it was. He knows I'm a big fan of Western novels, and I'm a huge Zane Grey fan. And I've read this, but it's been so long, I just don't remember that much about it. I read The Man from the Forest and a few others since that I really enjoy. I think Zane Grey is a great frontier writer. So I'm looking forward to that one. Then I've got some Louis L'Amour, and I've never read this one. This is Mustang Man, a well-loved leatherette classic. Actually, this may be one of the actual leather ones. This looks like it's one of the older ones, and I think this is an actual leather copy. 1966 is when this book came out, so it's old. I mean, it's newer L'Amour, or maybe mid L'Amour. I'm not sure when he stopped writing, but I'm going to be reading this one. It's called Mustang Man, and I looked it up on Goodreads. Got a great, it sounds great, so I look forward to that. The next one is another Louis L'Amour, and this is a book of short stories, The Outlaws of Mesquite. It's another one I've never had in front of me. So I had somebody one time give me like over 100 Louis L'Amour novels. Lady said, my father passed away. I need somebody to come get these books. They were all Louis L'Amour, and there were over 100 of them. So that, I mean, it just doesn't get better than that. But The Outlaws of Mesquite is one I haven't read. It's a book, like I said, it's a book of short stories, and I look forward to jumping into that. And I'm going to be, if anybody would like to buddy read any of these with me, feel free. That'll be a lot of fun. I'll probably read Lonesome Dove pretty well throughout the month. I'm not going to jump into it and not read anything else while I'm reading it. I'll read 40 pages a day probably. It's about an 800, 900 page book, something like that. So I will have it done in 3 weeks or so probably. So if anybody wants to buddy read that with me, I'd love it. We've got Scott and Summer reading it as well. Or any of these Louis L'Amour or this Zane Grey novel. I know a lot of people have heard of Riders of the Purple Sage. This is very famous, one of the most famous Westerns, I would say. One of the most famous Western novels. And so if anybody wants to buddy read any of these with me, let me know. I would love that. But yeah, that's my announcement. And partial TBR for June on the Range, which, I mean, it's about time somebody has a Western event. You know, maybe it's happened before, but I've never been a part of one. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And look up the other co-hosts that I'm going to have down below. And go over to Michael K. Vaughn's channel and watch his announcement video. And his, I believe he's got a TBR up. I cannot remember what all he's got up. But this is going to be a fun event. And I'll talk to you later, BookTube.